Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Christina from Our Wood Home. I apologize if you hear any noisy birds in the background. I'm recording this audio on a beautiful spring day with the windows open, and we have a lot of birds around our property. Anyways, I wanted to take you along as I did some cleaning and general homemaking tasks around the home. My husband and I have been sick on and off for about a month, and we're just at the tail end of it now, so needless to say, I have not been keeping up with all of my home duties as I should, but I was feeling better, so I wanted to take a few days and get some things done. I decided to take you along with me in case you as well need some homemaking motivation. I started off by tackling some laundry that had been piling up. I like to fold laundry standing at the bed. I just find it's a good height and there's a lot of space so I can spread out things. I like to fold the laundry and group it by category, so it's nice to be able to spread it out. Then I went to go and put that all away. I also had some laundry on the clothesline that I wanted to take off because it was nice and dry. It was very, very windy this day, and the laundry thankfully dried pretty quickly, but it was still kind of difficult to get it all off the clothesline. I've also been airing out some of the pet blankets because they are covered in fur. We have 2 cats and a dog, and I need to wash these blankets, but I don't want to clog up my machine with all of that pet fur, so I decided to air them out for a few days, hoping that would release most of the fur before putting it in the wash machine. Now that the weather is warming up and the days are longer, the chickens have been laying eggs again, so I went to check to see if there are any in the nesting box, and we just have one right now from Kitty. I also decided to give the chickens a snack because they are very good at foraging for their own food, but if they're not eating their proper laying food, then they might not lay eggs as much. So we tried to just scatter some food throughout their fenced enclosure so that they can have a snack and also practice some foraging. As I said, it was very windy, so they didn't care for the food flying in their direction, but they enjoyed it once it settled on the ground. Next up on my to-do list is hand washing wool socks. This is something I do pretty frequently because most of our socks are wool socks and they need to be washed by hand. This is just how I wash the socks. I'm sure there's many different methods, but I just fill up a bucket or the tub with cold water and a teeny tiny bit of soap and let them soak for a bit before rinsing and wringing them out. Then it's important to roll the socks out onto a clean, dry towel to get out as much water as possible. Otherwise, they will take a very long time to dry on their own since you can't put wool socks in the dryer. Usually I hang them up by the wood stove fire, but since I didn't have one going today, I just hung them on the clothesline instead. The next day I decided to tackle the kitchen. I tried to maintain a clean and orderly kitchen just in general, but of course there are times when it gets a little bit cluttered and things need to be cleaned and or put away. So that's what I'm doing here, just cleaning off the counters and doing any dishes that need to be done in the sink. This may be a controversial thing to say, but I never make my bed first thing in the morning. I always wait a few hours to make it. Usually I throw the covers towards the foot of the bed or just leave it a little bit rumpled as it was from the night before, but then I will come in and after the bed has aired out, I'll make it properly. This is just something I've always done and I think that it works for me. I'm curious to know if you make the bed first thing or if you do something similar to what I do. I'm often asked what kind of cleaners I use around the home, so I thought I'd show you what I use in the bathroom typically. I use the Method Anti-Bac Toilet Cleaner for the toilet, obviously. I don't know that this is necessarily a natural product, and I think a lot of people assume that I only use natural products, but the reality is I use whatever doesn't give me a migraine. So this does have a smell. It's a spearmint smell, but it doesn't give me a migraine. I can use it without any problems, so that's what I choose to use. I also use this Genuine brand cleaner just as a general disinfectant. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. It's a decent cleaner. It's a difficult bottle to use. It just doesn't seem to come out easily when I spray it, but it has no fragrance and it kills a bunch of different viruses. So that's what I use on the sinks and the counters, toilets, light switches, all that kind of thing. And I use that everywhere else in the house as well. I'm washing my hands here because I had just cleaned the toilet. I just didn't film it because that's an awkward thing to film. But anyways, I clean the bathroom once a day, just a light clean by rinsing out the sink and putting some cleaner in the toilet if needed. But on weekends, I do a bigger clean. So I'll wash both sinks and the counters and clean the toilet in more detail, as well as cleaning the bathtub and replacing the hand towel. This is something that I do usually on Saturday, but sometimes on Sunday. It just feels like a nice way to start the weekend. I also sweep the floors frequently and I mop them as needed, so I did mop them prior to filming this video. But now I'm just cleaning off the counter and spraying it with that all-purpose cleaner, which works pretty well. I don't know what type of material these counters are, but it's not a real stone or anything like that. It's kind of a plastic material, so it can handle even a more abrasive scrubber or brush, but typically I just use the hand towel since I'm replacing it anyways. Thank you for coming along with me as I do some much needed cleaning in this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I always enjoy seeing cleaning content because it gives me motivation to start on my own to-do list, so I hope I can do the same for you. If you like what you see here on my channel, I encourage you to comment or give this video a thumbs up, and if you feel like it, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.